Hey everybody, I hope you guys are well. This is November and I am looking to find some tree that I can grow as a hedge around our property. And Lowe's have these green giant arborvitaes on sale. The one that we got were, I don't know what size these are, not gallon size of course, quart size I believe. And they were only $10 a piece. The green giant arborvitae. So basically we want to put this around the property and at the front entrance of the property to create a hedge. Since most of the trees we have drop their leaves and they grow bare. So if you look at here, this is the average mature size, about 30 feet height, 15 feet wide. So we don't want it to be any taller than that because the power line is about right at 30 or 50, so we don't want anything to be as big as the power line in case it causes issue with the power line. So we're going to plant this alongside the driveway coming up to the property, or at least the front, to create a barrier so when people drive by they can't look into the property because it's so bare. I've repotted these up because they were very root bound in the quart size pot that they were in. Basically just put some soil in the bigger pots and then put some fertilizer. Gonna let them stay here until springtime, and then we're gonna transplant them because we still have to take down a couple more trees that's in the area. We don't want to plant these and then take out the other trees and risk damaging these trees. So they're gonna sit in the pot until springtime when we can clear up that area. I'm also trying to root some of the cuttings, see how readily they root. I have done a couple of bush arbor, I don't know what they would call, some kind of screening, basically the same kind of plant, but they're more bush form. I think they're the same kind of arborvitae, but they're not this green giant because these are a tree. But basically what I do is, you can see at the bottom of the base where you don't want a couple of your limbs to come out, like right here. I would cut this out and then put them in potting soil, and then I'm going to try to root them to see if I can get more trees. Now they grow about I want to say they grow about 3 feet a year, so that's pretty impressive for the height. So right now they're about 3 feet. This is their first year, I'm assuming, from the pot that we got them in. By next year, we're hoping that it will, of course, double it as long as it has good fertilizer and water, and then keeps on growing. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me show you the pots that I've already put the cuttings in. And I just watered them in, so hang on one second. Alright, so here's the pot that I put it in. I don't do one single pot per cutting just because I feel like that's a waste of space. So I just cram them all in here. In the springtime, I will look through them to see if they rooted. It may take longer than a couple months. I'm hoping that it won't. But basically, you can see here, I just cut. Okay, I'm going to pull this one up. Basically, I just cut a little cutting. And then I took down a couple of the stems that are down here. And then all you do is just stick it in the soil, medium, whatever you want to use, and then you water it in. So here is one set, hoping that it will grow, give me a couple more trees. I've put a couple in here. This is also cutting that I've taken from the Confederate rose. Stuck the Confederate rose in here, and then I put a couple of the since I had room in here, I put a couple of the cuttings from the arborvitae in here. And then a couple more over here. You can see I was busy today since it's such a beautiful day. Here's a couple more that I've put in here, just in different medium to see which one will take better. Now, I've had luck with the other one, which I will show you in a moment. Those ones have been in the ground for a year. I haven't dug it up because I don't know where to put them, but they took readily and easily. So I am hoping for the same thing for these arborvitae trees. And here they are, you guys, the cuttings that I took over a year ago. Now, this is a different kind of evergreen than the tree form, but you can see I can root this very easily. They're just slower growth than the tree form, because these guys, you can see it's been in the ground for a year now. I got these cutting when we were at the old house, and we've been on the property now for almost a year. So you can see they grow about, I'd say maybe 3, not even 3, it's like 6 inches. They grow like 6 inches a year. So you can see the little piece of cutting that I took is still trying to produce. Like they're rooted, they're in the ground very heartedly, but you can see they haven't grown very much. This is probably about 6 inches. Now the tree that I'm trying to root is going to grow about 3 feet a year. So definitely with trees, you definitely want a more fast growing tree so it can give you that screening hedge that you want. Look at the chicken in the background. You see? We let our chickens roam free, and then we put them away when it gets dark. It's not very good for my plants because they like to dig, so we'll have to put them in a different spot coming. But hey, chickie. So yeah, so these evergreens are definitely slow growing by far, because they're only 6 inches within 1 year. And those trees are going to be at least 3 feet in a year, hopefully. So as long as we give it good fertilizer, it should do fine. But I'm really impressed with how they're growing. I mean, look at this one. This one is really rooted in the ground. Here's a small one over here. So I've got a couple more over here. So yeah, all in all, I think I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these bushes that eventually I'm going to be able to transplant into the ground, all just from cutting. So free plants, you can't beat that, you guys. All right, that is it for this November project that I'm doing. Basically just taking cuttings and rooting them and hoping that I'll get something by spring or next year so I can plant them into the ground. What are you guys doing now that you're either in or out of season? I don't know, some of you, as we are approaching winter time, you guys are going into your fall, summer, spring, and then some of you are in the tropics, so you stay that same nice summer weather all year round. Show me or tell me what you guys are growing. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody. Look at Mr. Chick. This chicken is a rooster. He is monstrous. He's gonna get all those grubs.